Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Episode 27, we believe, of the Sports, Wheels, and Reels podcast. I'm Austin Horton. Jeff Miller, not here today. I actually don't know where Jeff is, and maybe that's on purpose. But Josh Goldsmith is here, and he has some fancy title like Fixed Director of Operations or
something. I fix
but
stuff.
He's just the dude.
Yeah, the dude.
You go to
it's a nice title.
For all kinds of problems. He's the guy that tried to get me fired on radio 6 years before I got fired. So,
well, maybe I knew it was best for you.
You can say those poo-poo words on this podcast.
Thank goodness.
Josh Goldsmith. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Happy to be here. It's been a while. We got some exciting stuff to talk about.
You've done this show once already, right? Or twice?
Multiple times.
Okay. Well, Jeff.
Not 27 times like you, but
I have done
a handful.
I've done it 27, we think, times.
We think. We hope.
And it's only been... We're coming up on the year mark, by the way.
Which is crazy.
I just passed... So I got hired a year ago next week.
It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild.
And your life's never been better.
It never has been better. That's what it says on that cue card right there. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, we're really happy at our house. It's been a great time. All right, well, we got lots to talk about. We are going to talk about the Jazz, the Utes, the Cougars, excuse me, kids getting ear infections and sharing that with people. We're going to talk about gondolas and Subaru Forester orders. We're going to talk about our Love Promise Partner of the Week and month. It's Love Pets Month. Subaru Loves Pets Month. And Tom Hanks with a really funny comment about his career that got my mind going. Get to that and more coming up on Sports, Wheels, and Reels.
My name is Cindy Savage, and my Subaru is my Swiss Army knife.
My Subaru fits my lifestyle because I am all over the place. I'm working a lot, driving in and out of the city. I love to travel, take road trips on the weekends, love going to concerts. I love getting my car serviced at Mark Miller Subaru. They're really quick and friendly, and it's super easy. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is a local Utah retailer that I love.
All right, Josh Goldsmith, let's talk sports.
I'm excited.
There's your guy, Lauri Markkanen.
I know.
The guy that I was in love with his game when he came out of Arizona.
Yep.
I thought he should have been the number one overall pick that year. That didn't turn out to be as great of a prediction as I thought it would be. But he's actually really close to hitting a really nice stride in his career. The problem with that is the Jazz should not be winning games this year.
That's the challenge. I think even just looking at the preseason, the two games that we've played, and I know you've canceled your cable. You're not watching any of the games this year.
No, that's not true.
I am worried. I am worried that we are going to be a middle of the pack team, and we're going to win too much to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish.
Did you see the Scoot Henderson Victor Wembanyama game?
Yes, I watched at least half of it.
That was the most exciting a Jazz game will get all year. And
really?
And the Jazz weren't playing.
The crazy thing was watching. There was a video afterwards of Rudy standing next to Victor Wembanyama,
yeah.
And he makes Rudy look little.
Yeah, well,
I never knew that was possible.
Yeah. He's a big, tall guy who needs to eat some donuts.
A lot of donuts. Yeah, he needs to hit
protein.
The gym a little bit. Yep.
That being said, that's kind of the way the modern day basketball player is being built anyway.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren, Kevin Durant, on and on and on.
Big guys that can handle the ball, shoot the three, and get into the paint.
So the Jazz are 1-1 through two preseason games played.
Yeah.
They're off until Tuesday. God, the NBA really knows how to milk the calendar.
Uh-huh.
So they're off till Tuesday. They will play Tuesday, and then they have another game, and then the real season starts the third week of October.
Yep.
They should or should not lose all 82 games, Josh Goldsmith.
At this point, we might as well just bench everybody.
because I think that there's a real problem here facing the Utah Jazz of everybody in the NBA now wanting to lose all 82 games.
Everybody.
And the Jazz might fall into that poison pill of, oh, if you lose too much, it becomes a culture
Piece.
That's
what are your
baloney.
thoughts on that?
That's hogwash.
You think if Hardy were to walk into that locker room today and said, "We just saw how truly incredible generational talent.
Well,
we want you guys to suck it up."
For this 19-year-old.
You don't think that totally sours a season?
It will, but that's what they should do. They should not be married to a single person on this roster. No one. There's no one on this roster, Lauri Markkanen included.
We may only have Victor Wembanyama on our roster next year, but hell, we're excited about it.
Well, yeah. If you're going to trade Donovan Mitchell in his prime,
yep.
Rudy Gobert at the end of his prime,
yep.
Bojan Bogdanovic, soon Mike Conley,
and Jordan Clarkson.
Although Ryan Smith
said he's
weirdly is, I don't know why he wants him around.
Pretty excited about Jordan Clarkson.
It's because the owner needs something
to hold on to
sell tickets, to sell.
You think
TV.
Jordan Clarkson's that guy?
What else?
Ryan Smith thinks he's that guy.
What else is there for Utah Jazz fans?
That might be it.
Purple is not back, despite what the
did
picture on the team
Did you see that?
Yes.
Purple is back, all yellow and white uniforms.
It's becoming a joke.
They are having an interesting conversation in that marketing team meeting.
There's a lot of different chefs in that kitchen, and no one's leading the way. But that's beside the point. I think that if you're going to trade all those pieces, then you have got to do it completely. You've got to start over.
You have to fully commit.
You lost Quinn Snyder, and you're going with Will Hardy. You have to really go down to the studs. And that's a cliche, but it actually matters. It actually makes sense.
The challenge is I just don't know if you can have 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
You can't.
Right? And you have to commit either way.
Because what you just said is, can you go in a locker room
no, you
to
can't.
a bunch of professionals and say, we need you to lose? No. But what you can say is, your back hurts tonight. You're not playing. You're suspended for being late to practice yesterday.
Yeah.
You're
well, if that's what we were
games.
going for, then we should have just picked up Anthony Davis. Because he's already on that train. He could be the ringleader.
Did you see him playing 2K online?
Yeah, and he gets
got injured?
As himself within like 2 minutes.
And his face.
It's great. There's nothing that makes me happier.
Did you see the Draymond Green video today?
Yeah.
So I have a source.
I thought it was a joke when I first heard it.
About the punch?
About the punch.
Oh no, I knew there was a punch. I didn't know it was as cold as it was.
Yeah.
TMZ got hold of the video because of course they did. If you do something out there, TMZ will find it. That's how it is.
Doesn't matter if you're in the woods by yourself.
Doesn't
TMZ
matter.
will find it.
Yep. TMZ and Elon Musk see everything.
They are
They're
everywhere.
like Santa Claus and Visa. They're everywhere you want to be. Or everywhere you don't want to be.
Ooh.
So I have a source that well, I shouldn't say too much. A source close to the Golden State Warriors who texted me late the other night and said, because there was all these internet rumblings that he was being released.
Yeah.
And so I texted, said, I know this sounds silly, but I'm looking for someone that knows. He said, this source said, no, he's not being released. But it's not as far-fetched of a possibility as...
Totally. A pretty good suspension.
And now you see the video and the PR fallout that's going to come from that and his non-apology that he issued. Yeah. You could see he might be making his way to the Lakers.
At this point,
this was a plan.
Maybe he's been.
Cold cock Jordan Poole and get to where you want to be.
With the Lakers.
Now Andre Iguodala is like, ugh.
Welcome to the Lake Show.
All right, so the Jazz 1-1 in preseason.
Have you watched any of the games?
No,
you haven't. Are you going to watch any of the games?
Preseason? No.
What about regular season?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you. I get that we're not going to win a lot of games. And probably a lot of people now, after watching the Victor game, would say, we really don't want to win any games.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more excited about this season than I feel like, the last two, because there's no hype, there's no expectations, and it's a fun group of guys to watch.
Wow.
It's wild to watch.
What a sad place to be. There's no hype.
But
there's
you
no,
look at
there's no excitement.
But really,
I
like
love
we're not
it.
going into it saying we're going to be the number 1 seed. We're going to make a deep run in the playoffs just to get eliminated in the first round. That sucks, right?
Yeah.
But going into the Portland game, I didn't expect to win. But it was a fun game to watch. It's
not
fun
gonna
watching
be anywhere near
Markkanen
the
come
playoffs.
down, ball handler. You have so many guys on this team that are initiating the offense. You really have no idea what's coming.
All right.
That's my hot take.
All right.
I'm excited. Buckle up.
I am afraid that they are not going to tear it completely down to the studs. I think they're going to get... They've set it up to where they could, and then they're going to be like... Will Hardy's going to try too hard.
They're on the verge, but again,
'Cause he
it's
doesn't
such
wanna
a
get
fine...
Brent Browned.
Right, but again, it's such a fine line between, like, we have to remain competitive, we have this young talent that we want to develop. I mean,
You
if
don't
you're
need
going to
to
do
remain
it,
competitive.
then just put all these guys, all the veterans on the team, bench them, and let's
Okay.
just play the rookies.
Well, except I actually have a better idea.
Okay.
Because the roster right now is at 20. By the way, Kelly Olynyk, as dirty as I ever said
Dirty.
he was.
That kick.
He is.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. But he's always been that way. Remember when he tried to break...
With a smile on his face.
Was it Kevin Love's arm that he
Yeah,
tried
I
to
think it was.
rip off his body?
Yeah, that was bad.
Anyway.
That wasn't good.
Roster is currently at 20. They have one
Deep.
two-way player. in
Which
Johnny
is
Juzang.
Johnny Juzang.
They have to get to 15 in the next
Cutting a lot of people.
17 days.
You think they just cut all the vets?
No. Well, maybe. But here's what I would do.
'Kay.
I would start Rudy Gay every night. I would let him play point guard every night.
I'm no longer interested in the Jazz season.
Because he...
You just did that
He is
in
a-
one comment.
Well, his mentality is
Oh,
exactly
he's
what you need
Horrible.
to just not care if you win or lose, to not care if the team succeeds or not, to not care if you get, but to get your paycheck, to get your numbers, and lose 82 games. That's what you need.
That's a tough pill for me to swallow, Austin.
So trade for Russell Westbrook. Start Rudy Gay as point guard. Is Shaq able to come out of retirement? Get him.
It looks like he's been on a weight loss plan. He's
Oh,
looking
has he?
good, feeling good. Yeah.
So but in all seriousness, who do you think is gone? I think that you're gonna see Bolmero maybe get left.
Yeah. The sad one, I think, is I think you're going to see Stanley Johnson get waived, but he had some really great defensive possessions in preseason.
You shouldn't have.
Well,
'Cause that's not
I know.
how you make the Jazz roster this
I
year.
get that.
You need
but
to suck, and then you're on the team. Cody
you probably
Zeller
make the team just
starting.
not even showing up to practice.
Jared Vanderbilt.
It's probably
Get in there. Saban Lee, whoever you are. Put him on the billboard. Who is that?
Purple is back.
Oh, Walker Kessler. I've never seen a worst free throw shooter in my life.
Ever.
He's perfect.
Ever. Done.
He's
Sign
shooting
him
all
up.
the technicals this
Sign
year.
him up.
All right.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be chaos.
And
It's
you're-
going to be like the Wild Wild West, and I'm here for it.
And you're going to be at 9 or 10 at the trade deadline in the West. Having won too many games,
And you're going to have to
you're going to have to lose the other 26.
Tank Gate. Welcome
after-
to Tank Gate.
But it will be too late.
Well,
Because the Orlando Magic
Then
will be at 1 and
Ryan's going to have to
59.
get over his just obsession with Jordan Clarkson then. And they got to get shipped.
I think you're going to see a race to the tank like you've never seen before.
Which is crazy because I feel like the race to the top has never been more competitive than it is this year. If you look at all these, you really sit down and think about the West specifically. There's a lot of talent. The Clippers are going to be good.
No, they're not.
You don't think?
No. Speaking of a
Minnesota?
of a mentality and a culture.
Valid. But there's a lot of
Minnesota-
talent in the West this
I know
year.
Minnesota got the pieces, but name me the last thing that Minnesota did on the court where you went, haha, the hype was correct.
Nothing. You're right.
When they were crying.
All right,
in
next
each
slide.
other's
Let's talk
arms
about some football.
When they won the play-in game.
We're moving to football.
Okay. On
That's
and on.
all for the Jazz this week.
I love you, brother.
I love you too.
All right,
That's what
all
we're
right,
here
let's
for.
go. Utah at UCLA, 3.5-point favorites.
I'm excited.
Who
It's
you
a big
taking
week.
in that one? Now, lines are not predictions.
Utah, of course.
Utah by 5. Trust
Utah
me.
by 5. Trust us.
Love you, Tom. Miss you, buddy. All right. So Utah at UCLA. Take Utah to cover that.
Yeah.
BYU
Is
Notre
not the
Dame.
favorite,
in Vegas at the Roomba.
despite the fact that Notre Dame lost to Mitchell. It's not Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Who's the school they lost?
Mitchell.
Marshall.
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 You know what's
I
so
knew it
funny
started
about-
with an M.
You know what's so funny about that? My middle name is Marshall.
Oh.
And when we were getting married,
Mm-hmm.
someone asked my wife, she had to fill out a form, first, middle, last name.
Yeah, she
and she
blinked
did
on
not
it.
know my middle name. She couldn't remember it. She wrote
Oops.
Mitchell. So that's hilarious.
There you go.
Yeah,
Mitchell,
they lost to
Marshall, same
Mitchell.
thing.
We
Tomato,
are Mitchell.
tomato.
We
Tomato,
are
tomato.
The thundering herd of Mitchell.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting.
3.5 point dogs, BYU. Who you going with? I know you hate BYU.
If it's not this game,
You're
I'm
not-
I'm a little more interested and willing to like put some good vibes towards BYU. I think it's great when everyone's winning within the state, but I also just every week hope that BYU gets smacked. So
Wow.
I try to put the good karma out, and it's just there's a taste in my mouth that I can't deal with.
Josh does not subscribe to Michael Jordan's Republicans buy sneakers too. But come, BYU fans, you're welcome here at Mark Miller Subaru.
Come on, come all. But no, I'm hoping that BYU and Utah get the win this week. It's a big week, especially if USC can pull out the win as well, because I think
Oh, okay.
this week, because I think then it sets up an even more exciting game the following week when USC comes to town.
Yes.
I think that game's going to be wild, and I've heard rumors of it potentially being College Game Day if both
they both
Utah
win
and
this
USC win this week.
I'm disappointed in this BYU Notre Dame game for one reason.
Tell me.
BYU caved. Notre Dame owed them a game in Provo.
Yep.
In Provo,
They
it's
said,
in writing.
Fine, we'll go to Vegas.
And it's going to make them money, and it's a good, fun event. But they should have just made Notre Dame pay them millions of dollars to cancel the game.
Yeah. I agree.
Notre Dame just gets what they want again, and
Yep.
it bothers
Well.
me. But it'll be a fun game. I am going to take BYU to cover that 3.5. I'm not
Are
sure.
you?
I'm not sure that means that they win.
Okay.
But it's going to be a close tie game.
I think it's gonna be close. It's gonna come down to the who makes that extra play.
It's going to come down to a missed field goal at the end. And BYU's been really good at those this year.
Really good.
All right, coming up next in Wheels, it's finally happened. The 2023 Forester is available to order.
You're probably gonna have a lot of happy customers.
You have a lot of. I have a happy wife at home. Who's
Even
been
better.
wanting a Forester. We have to talk to you about pets. Subaru Loves Pets Month, and a cool event coming up on the 22nd. And I look around every day, and I'm more and more alone on this subject. What is it? Tell you about it next.
My name is Donna Maturo McAleer, and my Subaru is serving our community. I've owned 3 Subarus in my life, and they've all been from Mark Miller because they're very much part of the fabric of our community. They're involved in so many things, whether it's helping veterans, saving dogs, planting trees, or supporting organizations like the Bicycle Collective. Subaru is the brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
All right. Josh Goldsmith, have you ever owned a Forester, or are you a straight
have.
Outback guy?
I have.
You have had a
I have.
Forester?
Yep, I had one.
When?
This is during a dark time in my life. Put too many miles on it driving up to Park City, but
As a lease?
I blew through it. I've been doing 10,000 mile leases. I was like, oh, I don't drive any more than that.
10,000 miles.
All of a sudden, I start just like cruising up to Park City all the time, and yeah, it didn't last long. But it's a great
Please,
car.
Don't do a 10,000 mile lease, please. Even if it's your church and grocery store car each week, do the 12,000 mile lease minimum. Yeah. Please. Yeah. All right.
But here's the issue.
That's
I've
what
now
he
been
is.
in my car for not even a year, and I have 16,000 miles on it. So I learned my lesson. I'd like the record to show I have learned my lesson. I do 15,000 mile leases,
Nice.
and we go from there.
All right. So the Forester 2023 orders are open. You can walk into the store today and we can place the order for you. All the pre-orders that had been filling up the last 2-3 months have now been placed, and their cars will be arriving December, January, February. If you order today, it'll be January, February.
Nice to get that back open.
Yes, and they're really nice cars. We loved our Subaru Forester Sport that we had. We leased it, and we turned it in at the 17-month mark to get an Ascent.
Yep.
Because the way the market was, it made sense. But we have missed that Forester
And
every
you have
day.
the Sport, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which is a really cool trim.
So my wife is probably getting a Forester Wilderness.
Oh,
Which,
fancy.
And then I'm probably going to be dipping my toe into the Outback world.
The Outback's the way to go.
Yeah. So, exciting news.
Tried and true.
Come on down and buy yourself a Forester. All right, the gondola, my friend.
The gondola. What are your thoughts on the gondola?
So, and this is the little tease I gave. More and more, I feel so alone on this subject. Because I actually really think I like it.
I do too.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That surprises
You're not alone.
me.
I'm here for you.
Thought you were one of those protect the rabbit weevils.
You've been there
people.
for me. I'm here for you.
Isn't that a song? I'll be there for you. From Friends.
Singing was never. Oh, you're right.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, the UDOT says that's the way they're gonna go. Salt Lake County Council held a meeting the other day with public comment, and 5-4 the votes came down against the gondola. Now, that being said, they have no say in the matter.
No, it was more of a.
We're
gonna make you feel like you get a say, but really we've already made our decision and it's done. We're just trying to appease you.
And I'm happy to listen to people who are against the gondola. I need to hear a better solution, though. And even Mr. Snellgrove, one of the council members, had no solution. He said, you know what my solution is don't spend any money.
Yep.
Well, that's not a
Not an
solution,
option.
sir. Because the traffic and the pollution, it's got to be fixed.
The
The other option would be to expand the roads,
Yep.
electrify some buses, but it's going to cost the same amount of money.
Yep.
And it's going to cause more buildup as you build that construction. This will be the world's longest gondola.
Should be really cool.
Be a tourist attraction.
Yep.
Someone in that meeting, a citizen, had a good point. Don't do it just for a tourist attraction because the Cottonwood Canyon is already a tourist attraction.
Yep.
But it's not going to ruin watersheds. It's not going to destroy wildlife.
No.
It's going to add to the look of the canyon, and there's going to be parking garage.
Have you ever been stuck in the traffic coming down that canyon?
And you can feel the inversion sticking in the air.
Yeah, it's horrible.
With every putter of everyone's car.
As someone who has been stuck up that canyon multiple times, even not during ski season, just coming down from like Oktoberfest.
Sure, okay.
It is a miserable experience.
Yeah.
And there's no way to do it. There's no good way. It's a tricky canyon to drive to begin with. It's tight, it's narrow, it's steep, and I think it makes a ton of sense. And we spend a lot of time up there hiking and stuff, and you really do. Like, you get up there during the summer, even during the winter, and it is just an inversion blanket.
Yeah.
And if we could even cut down on that a little bit, I think it would be well worth it.
Well, and expanding the road, in my opinion, harms the environment more than a gondola that's going to last forever.
And I don't know if people have driven up Little Cottonwood Canyon, but I'm not sure where you expand that road.
Yeah, it's a feat.
You're not going into
There's
the canyon.
a lot of places on that road where there's not room left to expand.
No. There's
So
not
you're
even a
gonna have
shoulder.
to, well, you'd have to blast away, and then
Into the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about
and create tunnels maybe, and that's worse on the environment.
way
I know.
worse. And and habitats and everything else.
So it's going to be $500 million, one way or the other. Do it the right way.
Yeah.
And I think UDOT is
Make
kind
the
of like,
investment.
sorry, Salt Lake County residents, we're doing what
We're
is
making
right.
our decision.
Jeff is interesting. He kind of goes back and forth on it. So we'll get his thoughts on it
Like
next week.
like a pancake. A little flip, a little flop.
He's like a Mitt Romney. No, I'm just kidding. He would love to hear me say
Wow.
that.
Can
He's
we
gonna
cut-
fire
can we
my
cut that
ass.
snippet
He's gonna
and
fire
send
me
it to
so
Jeff?
fast. He's gonna fire me.
I think Jeff's flying home on a plane, and he might even be in Disneyland right now.
He
And
just went, did someone just call me Mitt
I was
Romney?
just referred to in the same sentence as Mitt
Little
Romney.
twinge in his
Uh-huh.
ear. The Mitt Romney.
The spidey senses are about to come kick your
October
butt.
is Subaru Loves Pets Month. Woo! It's hot in here. We're celebrating with our Subaru Make a Dog's Day event. July.
love it.
October 22nd. That is not this Saturday, not next Saturday, but the following Saturday.
Coming up quick.
And
It's going to be Halloween before you know it.
Shh, don't say that.
I said it.
Halloween
It's
is
out.
a sore subject with me
I said it.
because it's on a weekday.
Let me ask you this
Weeknight.
question.
All right.
Are you a cat or a dog person?
So I am really allergic to both. For real.
Uh-huh.
Legit allergic to both. That being said, I have owned and will own and always love dogs.
Thank goodness. I was nervous there for a
Do I
second that this
come
would be
off
our
as a
last
cat
show.
person?
Well,
And all due respect to cat, I think cats are cute and cats are fun and cats are unique and they're good pets, but they are also assholes a lot. And dogs aren't.
dogs aren't. Dogs are always there for you.
All right. Anyway, the Make a Dog's Day event. Sorry, cats. You can win $500 at a costume contest, free dog toys, free pet raffle, free pet portrait, churros by Churrology,
Ooh.
free a bunch of awesome pet vendors, and free microchips from the Salt Lake County Animal Services. October 22nd is going to be at our Southtown location.
Just to clarify, those microchips are only for dogs and cats, not children.
Well, I need to make a phone call.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
I thought that was
Just
the
wanted
way-
to clarify.
That was the way we were gonna be
Yep.
we were gonna be free range parents. But anyway, come on into our store and donate a dog toy. For every dog toy you donate, you get 5 entries to watch the amazing Utah Jazz in action this season. Oh, row one seats. I thought he was like
Up,
that's a real
close,
one, man. I thought he was
and
like
personal
one of the real ones.
to
Yeah.
the Utah Jazz.
To see the beautiful highlight yellow right in your corneas. But it's
they
honestly
will be handing out welding masks for everyone at the game.
bring your shades.
Don't look directly into the sun.
But that
Permanent
row
eye
one is-
damage may happen.
Regardless of horrendous play and bad uniforms, the row one experience is not to be missed.
Not to be missed.
And with every dog toy you donate at one of our showroom floors, you get 5 entries into that row one giveaway. So come on in during the
be
month
great.
of October and make sure that happens.
Make a dog's day.
Coming up next, Tom Hanks, maybe my favorite of all time, says he's only made 4 really good movies.
Which
What
four?
are those 4?
You tell me.
We're going to fight over it next.
My name is Bobby Staples. I love dirt roads, saving our public lands, and my Subaru is off-road ready. The Subaru Outback Wilderness is built for people like me. From the factory, they were built rugged with the 9.5 inches of ground clearance. I know that I can get anywhere that I need to without hesitation. What I love about Mark Miller Subaru is the moment I walk in, I feel like I'm a part of the family. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
Welcome back. I'd like to apologize to my mother for my poop mouth today. That being said, it's time for Reels. Tom Hanks. Reels.
Reels.
Tom Hanks said recently about his movie filmography, all of his movies. He said 4 of which were pretty good.
Do you know 4 of them he feels really good about it? Do you know what his total movie production has been?
I think it's like 68. Wow.
Okay.
I'd have to check on that.
All right. Then that is an elite 4.
This was a joke. I don't think anyone's made that many movies.
I don't know.
But maybe it could be. And if you add up everything he's done, TV,
Yeah.
plays, movies, it's probably
That's
up there. So we decided we're going to name our 4 Tom Hanks movies. Now, again, not necessarily Tom Hanks roles,
Fair.
but the 4 best Tom Hanks movies. And the way I do these, Josh Goldsmith, is I think the whole deserted island thing, I could only have 4 Tom Hanks movies the rest of my life with me.
Is this deserted island theme one of your top 4?
Yes, because what better? Because you could file it under education. If you're on a
Educational.
deserted island,
It should be shown in the schools.
That's right. So, You're number one.
My number
No,
one.
let's go 4-1. You're
4 to
number
1.
4.
All right.
Because in order, these are our 4 favorite Tom Hanks movies. And so you already want
The
to switch.
Post.
The Post.
I thought
Okay.
it was great. Educational.
It was really good. It had
You
an
didn't like
agenda.
it.
I don't like when movies are really heavy-handed with their agenda.
i.e. political.
Yeah. Tell me both sides
Yeah,
and let me decide.
that's fair.
I'm on the side that was shown in the movie.
There you go.
But I don't
See?
I don't need
You
to
were
be,
represented.
well,
Quit complaining.
I just don't like just whatever.
All right, what was your
You know
fourth?
what I'm saying. Now hear me out on this one. Apollo 13.
It's a hot take.
Not necessarily Tom Hanks' best portrayal,
Okay.
but one of his best movies that he's been in. It's historical, it's accurate, it's dramatic, it has its levity here and there.
Yep.
It's a really good movie. And the cinematography of it alone is something I could watch forever and ever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Number
Okay.
3.
Number 3, going with Sully.
Great movie.
Great movie. Incredible story.
Chesley Sullenberger, the Miracle on the Hudson, that
Yep.
whole thing. Aaron Eckert was great in that as the co-pilot. This movie did had a really hard task of making an FAA hearing interesting.
And I felt like they
And
did
they
it.
did it. They nailed
Yeah,
it.
They crushed it.
I find myself watching clips on YouTube of this movie all the time.
Yeah. It was really well done.
And it really solidified Tom Hanks as the biopic guy. He's going to play...
Yeah.
He played Mr. Rogers. He played
Yeah.
Sullenberger. He played Captain Phillips. He played
Yeah.
on and on and on. He's done these...
And he does a great job.
He just played the evil
in
guy.
Elvis?
Huh?
In Elvis?
Yeah, in Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like him in that.
Well, that was the point. Yeah. My third is Castaway. Castaway is one I could watch over and over and over and over and over again. And I think the way my mind works with movies is I really like how the movies are made.
Yep.
And Zemeckis is a genius. And I've got 2 Bob Zemeckis on my list here
Wow.
with Tom Hanks. But
All right.
Castaway would be one of the best of all time as well. Number 2?
Number 2, we are going with Captain Phillips.
Oh, I forgot that was yeah.
Stole my thunder.
He's on honorable mention for me
Okay.
because it's a great movie
Great movie.
and it's a really good portrayal. I don't know that I could watch it over and over and over again forever, but it's one of my favorites.
That's fair. I really like him in those types of roles. Sully, The Post, Captain Phillips, I think are all very similar.
Real
Kinda
life
like what you
portrayals.
already alluded to.
Yeah.
Right. And I think he does that really well.
Number 2 for me is Forrest Gump, for which he won one of his only 2 Oscars.
It's only your number 2.
Yeah, he's number 2. There's a thing on Netflix called The Movies That Made Us, where they go in depth on how movies get greenlit and made, and
Yep.
the Forrest Gump one is phenomenal. Have
Yeah.
you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they took it out of this
Such
book.
a cool perspective.
And it's really, really cool. All right, and number 1. Oh, you have number 2. Did you say number 2?
I said number 2.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
Forrest Gump.
Oh, all right.
What's your number 1?
So you did not put Saving Private Ryan on the list.
No.
That's number 1. Saving Private Ryan.
I came very close to putting, what's the Christmas one?
The North Pole?
The
Polar
The
Express?
Polar Express. Love that movie. Great work, Tom Hanks.
Yep. Saving Private Ryan is a movie that it's in
It's a
my
great
top
movie.
5 of movies of all time. It had to be my favorite.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
All right.
mad about that.
People are on Twitter already mad at us for what we said.
Well, that didn't take long.
And you can follow me at Austin Horton. Follow us at the SWR Podcast and play along. Give us your answers, your top 4 Tom Hanks movies. Next week, we have 2 really cool trailers that came out that we're going to play next week.
Okay.
Wakanda Forever,
Yep.
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Looks so good.
And next week being released is what I think is going to win Best Picture and Best Actress, a movie called Till, the real life telling of Emmett Till.
Yep.
And how that unfortunate thing changed the world and still changes the world today. Yep. Josh, thanks for playing.
We have one more thing to talk about.
Oh, one more thing to talk about. I forgot.
Do you remember?
No.
One more movie. We talked about it right before we started.
Bros?
Bros.
Oh, Bros, yeah.
Bros.
I forgot.
Bro.
Billy Eichner has a romantic comedy out called Bros. And
You're not a fan. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, I didn't see it in the theater, which means I cheated.
Is it?
It's not available.
We
to
don't
be
talk
streamed.
about how you watched it.
We don't talk about Bruno. It's a C minus B plus or
Well,
B
this
minus
might-
C plus kind of
This
thing.
might be your last episode.
He
if
only
the-
made
if-
it only made $4 million at the opening box office, and there's a whole bunch of debate as to why that would be. I think it was a lack of star power
Other
that
than
didn't bring people to see it.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible movie.
No, and I've
And
heard
I-
it's a great storyline.
And I don't think we're stuck in the early 90s where, this
People
is a
don't
movie
wanna watch
about
it.
gay love. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go see it. No, I think we're past that, and thankfully so.
Yeah.
And this market, I don't think there's obviously you're either going to see this movie or you're never going to see this movie in this market. And I think you'd be wrong to never see this movie, but I think Billy Eichner is wrong to say that this was a homosexual hate thing. I don't,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't,
I don't
I
think
don't
that's
follow
right.
that at all. But I will say this, Josh. Anytime we can talk about marginalized communities not getting their run,
Yep.
fine, let's have that conversation.
Absolutely.
And if this brings more of that to the table, then that's good.
I
But it's
agree.
it's all right movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have one more thing I want to just throw at you.
Just surprise
Just
after
one
surprise
more
here.
thing. One more thing.
Is it this is gonna
In the theme
this is
of
gonna hit me like a
in the-
Draymond Green cold punch.
Hey, don't tempt me. In the theme of October, your favorite holiday at the end of it, Halloween.
No.
You're disappointed that it's on a weekday.
Yeah.
We'll get past that. Just watched a great movie on Netflix.
Oh no.
Can you guess?
Dahmer?
No. No. Hocus Pocus 2.
First of all, you didn't watch that on Netflix. That's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. That's what I
And
meant.
second of all,
Good
it
correction.
sucked.
I liked it.
Hardcore
All right.
sucked.
Well, it's been a
It did
great
not-
show.
Did you really like it?
I loved it.
What did you like about it?
I loved it. I thought it was really well done. And I loved that movie as a kid.
Oh yeah, the original one's fantastic. Did you ever read the fan fiction?
I need
for
you to
the-
take this hate somewhere
No,
else.
listen. I'm glad you liked it because you're the one person that did. Just Google
Well, they
it.
made it for me from what I was told, so.
My wife has watched it 100 times as well,
See?
and my kid did not like it, and she likes the first one.
That's fair.
Did you ever read the fan fiction I did for the sequel? How Allison was actually a witch.
Oh.
I thought that was a better route to go, but
Okay.
as far as Disney Plus sequels go, it's fine.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. To be fair, I was never gonna like it. So
And yet he complains about it, so.
Josh is
There
a
you
better
go.
judge of character and judge of movies because he has an open heart,
I don't know
and
what to tell
I'm
you, folks.
a cold, dead inside soul.
That's why they bring me on the show every now and then. Bring us back to baseline.
For the happy, fluffy Josh Goldsmith.
At one point, Jeff wanted my title to be Happiness Director.
Really?
Yeah.
I think someday it might be.
It could be. It has
Because-
a nice ring to it.
Because you say your name out here and everyone just smiles.
Do they?
I don't know. I don't make a habit going around saying Josh Goldsmith to see what people's faces.
See the reaction? That might
Nate
be it.
Lundquist behind the whatever we call this.
The desk, production studio.
Sitting on Jeff and Janine's desk. Jeff Miller, who's on his way back to fire me. I'm Austin Horton, soon to be unemployed again. Until next week, Utah by 5.
Trust me.